Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, Twitch chat, and welcome back to Let Us Play. I'm your host, Father Evan. It's good to be back with y'all. Excited to be diving into, honestly, what is one of my favorite games of this genre. We're going to be diving into Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I love a good Metroidvania, and this one is an all-time classic. Yeah, it's got its flaws, but, it's still really solid. But yeah, so let's go ahead. Let's just dive right in. Those classic PS1 noises. Gale's redeemed a father joke. I'll do it after this cutscene. Good to see you, Gale. Oh, yeah. Those are the PS1 graphics. A miserable little pile of secrets, but enough talk. How about you? Oh, yeah, we're about to get to that. How you doing, Map Hack? Oh, look at that textureless castle. Working from your basement? That's all good. Oh, you should play this game, Map Hack. It's a good one. Dun, dun, dun. So this actually picks up from Bloodlines, which is such a cool way to link the two. Which, if you know what you're doing, I forget... Richter has some combo moves you can activate, but I owe Step Zero not Step Zero, Gale a father joke. Got a really long fight with a friend over angles. It was a protracted argument.
Dracula, die now and leave this world. You'll never belong here.
Oh, but this world invited me. Your own kind called me forth with praise and tribute.
Tribute? You're a thief. You steal men's souls, their freedom.
Freedom is always sacrificed to faith, good hunter. Or are you truly here by choice?
All I'm here for is you. To hell with your heresy! You're nothing but a blight on mankind.
Ha! Mankind. A cesspit of hatred and lies. Fight for them, then, and die for their sins!
That's right. I forgot this version has the new translation. This is like the 2011 translation of the missile. It's good, but it's disappointing in other ways. Because we didn't get the line, oh, this could be said of all religions, or, what is a man? A miserable pile of secrets, but enough talk. How about you? I thought you said a fight over angels. Yeah, that would be a much different fight. I don't remember how to... Oh, there we go. That's how you item crash. That was poorly timed. Oh, well. Have I ever played DMC? Woody, play DMC too? No, I've never played DMC. I could see that having very similar camp dialogue. Oh no! My health is falling.
I'll lend you my strength.
Okay, remember what that little girl looked like. She shows up again later in the full game. But, different? Yeah, derpy whip. That's his cousin, Manpack. That's all I'm gonna say. I found the sweet spot where Dracula can't hit me.
Count Dracula had risen with the aid of the Dark Priest Shaft to menace humanity once again. The legendary vampire hunter, Richter Belmont, stood against him and at last brought him down. However, 4 years later, on a glaring full moon night, Richter mysteriously vanished.
But Dracula's only supposed to respawn every 100 years.
But knew not where to begin. It was then that fate intervened. Castlevania, the castle of Dracula, rumored to appear once every century, suddenly materialized from the mist, as if to show her the way. Meanwhile, powerful forces struggled for the soul of a man named Alucard. He who had once fought alongside Trevor Belmont against his own immortal father, Count Dracula himself. To purge the world of his own cursed bloodline, Alucard had submerged his vampiric powers and fallen into what was meant to be eternal slumber. But now, he awakens to the cackles of evil and cries of the innocent. The eternal battle of good and evil.
These are not
has
timed.
come full circle once more. Dracula's castle beckons for you. And no man can say who will emerge victorious.
Dun dun dun. And yeah, man, Dracula really just... He really woke up and said, you know what, I'm going to name my child me, but backwards. And we never see that screen again. Nivek. It's a good name. Oh, these are wargs. They're evil. They are a monster hanging out in Dracula's castle. This soundtrack slaps. This game also tricks you into thinking you're really powerful because you're taking down these wargs with a single hit. That won't last.
Alucard, what is your business here?
I've come to put an end to this.
Ever the insolent boy. But there will be no games here. If you will not behave, be gone.
Excuse me.
I will do neither. Step aside, old man.
Such arrogance. Very well. But I shall see you very soon.
Here you go, map hack. We lost all our gear. Death just took everything from us. Now we punch. Stupid Death. Taking all my gear. He really did just go yoink. Oh, what did the show do with that? I never got... I watched just like the first episode and was like, yeah, that's not for me. Well, it might, but also I don't know if that means much when I hear K-Max say it. Cube of Zoe. Ow. Alucard, do you have to be so dramatic every time you're hit? They made Death the big bad of Trevor and Sif's story, but disguised him as a basic mook. Huh. They're ready to see the equipment screen a lot. Ow. Ow. Woo! Equipment! And boy howdy, is there plenty of it in this game. No, I want axe. Honestly, the design and aesthetics of this game have held up really well. I think because they leaned into sticking with like the classic 16-bit look rather than trying to do a 3D PS1 thing. Ow. What system does this come out on? PS1. I'm playing it on PS4, one of the re-releases. Hence why it doesn't have the great dialogue. No! Alucard, please. I know you're stiff. This game has incredibly stiff jumping. Compared to... see? Something like Mario. Alright, I can't even go this way. I think my father just wanted me to tour his castle. Ow. Oh no, I have enraged him. Never mind, I have solved the issue. No. I upsetty his spaghetti. Well, they upsetty my spaghetti first. I'm not surprised those guys were in the anime. They have been very common enemies for a long time. They actually just become regular enemies you run into later in the castle. Yeah, let's go this way. I do like that anytime you hit up when you're standing, Alucard pulls his cloak tighter. I like that wearing sunglasses makes you dumber as well. Like, yeah, cool looking sunglasses. Oh yeah, these games just ooze with detail. And you haven't even seen all of it yet. I mean, Alucard gets different colored capes later on. That have like different particle effects. Yeah. Well, I think it depends on the game. Because, yeah, let's take this. You know, Mario does not exactly have a compelling story, but I don't care because it relies solely on the gameplay. But, you know, something like this, if there wasn't a world tied to it, it would raise the question of, so what? Yeah. So some games can, but there is definitely a factor of many games do require still you know, there has to be some combination of good factors to make someone stick around. Graphics, gameplay, story, characters. And it's gonna vary. Marble Gallery. No, I'm gonna stick with the diamond. Diamonds are Curl's best friend. You're surprised K-Max is running over here? Well, I think he's live, so... Nope. No, bad table.
Are you human? What are you doing here?
Remember that little girl?
I've come to destroy this castle.
This is her now.
Likewise. I'm Maria. And you are?
Alucard.
Well, if you're a better swordsman than a speaker, perhaps I'll see you again. Farewell.
Do you still have pets? Probably. I mean, that's kind of her thing, is the mystical animals or whatever they call them. I mean, again, she's kind of a main character for a lot of, involved in a lot of the games, so I'm not surprised she's in the anime. I mean, Alucard's in the anime, and fight scenes are good. Yep, Bible. Ah, good, they did justice to the fight scenes like this. Swinging a sword at a table. Would you like a Bible? What do you mean you don't like a Bible? Women in their monstrous four-legged selves, shaking my head. Oh, you may have noticed how in the archway there it said CD. On the original PlayStation, you could pause in those areas, insert a CD, and then it would take the music off of it and use that as the background music for the game. Panic? I mean, the PlayStation was honestly a really impressive system that did a lot of crazy things. This knight is not enjoying the fight, nor am I, honestly. This knight's got a lot of health, and I am squishy. Hey, let's go. This is my reward. An empty room. But wait, there's more. It's wall chicken. He does have a little bit of a derpy run animation. These guys' arms. But you can also backslide just everywhere. Oh, yeah, thank you for praying for Father Vinny's soul. He was good, man. He was 93. I think condolences are a lot, actually. I think we discredit them in our society. Yeah, I lived with Father Vinny for 3 years when I was in Ohio. Man had a great sense of humor. You would have liked him a lot. He made a lot of word puns. Hey, Mezok Mind. I'm good to see ya. Good to see. I'm doing well. It's good to see ya. Your brother has good taste. No, there's a save point, and I'd like to find it, because I'm at 22 health. Well, post-Pearly Gates, he will have had plenty of time to work on even more puns, so... He actually had a book that, or a couple of books that he published called his Venomins. They're all like, it's like all faith-based puns, like, you know, one-liners to make you think and pray, but they're all like pun-based. I wish I have one. I have a copy somewhere, but I don't remember where I put it after I moved here. It's probably upstairs in my room. I don't think I'm supposed to be here yet. I think I am way too underpowered for this boss fight. I just kind of kept going and forgot where I was going. It's a boss fight against myself. I'm whooping my butt. Yeah, I just wish I knew who had the upper hand in this one. Oh my gosh, I don't know how I legit do not know how I beat that at this level. I am normally way worse at this game. New sword. It's more powerful by 1. We'll take it. Nope. I bonked my head. Yankee Gang? This isn't even your franchise. What are you doing here? Yeah, not even your company. Get out of there. You look silly. Oh, he has an even bigger sword. Elevator activated. Does that mean I have elevator action? Oh no. I want that. That's a hard up. Ah! I'm gonna need a bigger form of jump to get there. That doesn't seem like a very safe elevator. Soul of Wolf. Check this out. I'm a wolf. Deal with it. How about this? How about you tell me when there's something that isn't in the anime? Alucard is your favorite dogger. The animated tables are not in the anime. Okay, that's good. Be gone, you creepy pink orb. Oh no. I'm cursed. Oh, come on. Did that thing despawn and respawn? Is that what happened? Because I hit it once already, I thought. Do these games operate off Mega Man rules? Yeah, more or less. Like, when you transition a screen, all the enemies will reload. Which can be obnoxious, because if an enemy hits you off into another screen, then you come back and gotta refight everything. Okay, I already had to hide Curious. Now, if you're saying, do these games operate off of Mega Man rules, do I absorb the power of my enemies when I defeat them? Not so much. Nor does Alucard fire lemons.
It's been a long time, old one.
Eh? Why, it's Master Alucard. Come to visit, have we?
I need your help.
Oh, but young master, I could never betray the good count.
You won't go unrewarded.
Really? In that case, just tell me what you need.
Want a Lord of the Rings game this style with Mines of Moria? That would be awesome.
How about this?
Thank you.
How about this?
Yes.
Thank you.
That is a go further button. How much gold do I have? 2,000? Except for Stardew Valley, but Hobbits, that game does look very, very cozy. It's up by 2, that's up by 1. Let's go with that. It's the kind of game that if you start playing seriously, you'll never see you again. Oof. I mean, I think that's the mark of a good game. Fairy Scroll. I can finally know what I'm attacking. You like cozy village games like that? Yeah, and you love Lord of the Rings, so that really is kind of a dangerous twofer. Excuse me, books are not supposed to do that. Please politely contain yourselves to simply having words. Dang it. Dang it. Nope, stop cursing me. I have so many words. Yeah, you do. Let's explore further left this way, once our curse wears off. Oh, excuse me, I'm just kind of sleepy today, apparently. Fleeman! Okay, if a book leaps off the shelf and assaults you, it should be banned. Normally I'm not for banning books, but I think I'll make an exception in this case. Where's the index of forbidden books when you need it? Why did I bother buying? I'm curious. Oh wait, this one's not as good. Never mind. Everything's fine. Would any criteria for a book be sufficient for you to consider supporting a ban of it? I guess it ultimately depends on the context, but in general, I think the free access to information and helping people just have better consciences in deciding what to do with it is better and a more fruitful use of our time. Let me see how ridiculous it is, Stance. Kind of. Okay, so we have some options. We can go down, or we can go up. Truly, these are the height of options. But realistically, there's a few spots. The Barbra Streisand effect, yeah? Let's go this way. Down to Goblin Town. You go, my lad. Yep. I guess that's another way I could have gone. Oh well. No! Okay, what are these big... Diplocephalus. Okay. I'm basically a walking index of token quotes. Oh, I don't think that's something to apologize for. Okay, so we can't go down there yet because we haven't opened those doors. I apologize for not having more token quotes. Oh, that's fair. I just did a thing. I don't know what thing I did, but I did it. Ow. Hey, open the doors. Oh, library card. It literally just warps you back to the library. Which actually is super handy. Having fun isn't hard when you've got a library card. But does yours teleport you? Ow! How dare you be able to attack in directions other than left and right? Teleports me to a world of imagination. The more you know. I have made a mistake! We live here now. Wait a minute, I just wound up in my father's basement. I'll get ready for some puzzles. Block up the water. Make them panic. And a splod. Oh, okay, so Alucard's half vampire. In-game, he's called a Dampier. Water hurts him. YOLO. Sure would like a save point. I haven't seen one of those in a hot minute. No. Not gonna take the boatman trip yet. Okay, well, we're back at the beginning, so that's a place. I guess just kind of work our way back up and try the other down. Of course, there's also the blue door in the tower of the alchemical lab that we could go through. That would be an option. Wait a minute, we've been here before. Yeah, we went in a big circle underground. Forgot I have a meeting in 15 minutes. Oh no, well, it's a good thing you remember that you have the meeting, I guess. Don't they know that you have shows on right now? How dare they? Scheduling a meeting during working hours. What is this world coming to? At least it's for something good. Well, that's good. I need to watch my anime priests on the internet. When you put it that way. Sure, we may as well save. You never know when you're going to accidentally wander into a boss fight and start looking at my Twitch tabs. Nope. Give me back my Bible. Oh, hello again, Maria.
Alucard, wasn't it? We meet again.
So it seems.
As friendly as ever, I see. It's strange. This castle's different than I remember it.
This castle is a creature of chaos. With each rebirth, it takes a new form.
And here I thought my mind was playing tricks. Well, there's nothing for it. Till we meet again.
Maria, hear me out. Let me pet your dog. It's one way to meet a woman, I guess. I do like that he keeps facing the direction he was moving for just a moment so that you can play footsies with the enemies. He's a smooth criminal. Ow! The skull used fire, it was super effective. Ow. Jerk. In case you have not learned how this works. Behold the chapel. No, I don't know why Dracula has a Christian chapel in his, or potentially even Catholic chapel in his house when he's, you know, a vampire. All my homies love chapels. I mean, I do love a good chapel, and this one, it is pretty. Except for the fact that there's all this giant sword thing. No, 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 that's okay. No, 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 ow! Ow, I'm stuck. I am stuck in the enemy. This is bad. This is very bad. Rerun now. Yes, stun lock and a half, and I'm still gonna have to get through the other side somehow. Well, let's use a potion. Oh, is this the confessional? Yeah! Let's go to confession, boys!
Rest your weary soul here. May the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost be with you. Amen.
Yeah, there's just straight up a confessional. And if you impersonate the priest... Isn't there one that... I thought there was one that stabs you. Alucard, no, you aren't a priest! There's different interactions that can appear here, and one of them, it draws the curtains and then it stabs you.
Rest your...
Classic priestly fear. I mean, you know... Here we go. See? She just stabs you. Just pulls the curtain, stab right through the screen. Lady, that's rude. Lady, that's gonna need another confession. Ow. Jerk. The bird sniped me. Castlevania goes hard. Hey, Clutch, good to see ya. Why is silver stronger than iron? Silver is a weaker metal. It's much softer. His egg is nice to see while you're lurking. Yeah, I mean, I blame Map Pack, but good to see him, Mel. Yes, happy feast day of St. Barnabas. I'm surprised for his connection to St. Paul that we don't have at least something depicting him here in this church. You know, I work at St. Paul the Apostle. Redacted novice. Ow. Bad bird. I think I found the winning move. You're pretending to work in hunting on Monster Hunter. Nice.
You look like you're doing well for yourself.
And you didn't come here to flatter me.
Technically, I'm working
True.
too.
Do you know the name Richter Belmont?
Belmont. Of course. Why?
He's thinking of a
disappeared
different
about a year
Belmont.
ago. I'm sure he's here now. If you see him, please let me know.
As you wish, my lady.
A gentleman after all. Thank you.
Double program builds. That sounds fun. Yeah, after his conversion, Saul went, or Barnabas found Paul and was like, hey, let's go meet the others. You've been sulking here at the house of Ananias on a street called Straight for a little too long. It's time to get up and do stuff. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. Because that's not the same stars that, like... I'm reformating a prophet. And lost report. Okay. It's good work to do. It's not the normal Twitch censorship thing. Like, I don't have control over that. All right, have a good meeting. Twitch doesn't want me to spread the word of Barnabas. I'll do it even harder. Hey, Yuha. Good to see you. Just get into my strike range, I dare you. Maybe Twitch just doesn't like Portuguese keyboards? Going for a walk? Nice. Does this take me somewhere? It does. Why do I keep winding up back where I started? I didn't mean to do that. Stop it! don't think I've ever been that sunlocked by a single flea enemy before. Yes! Double jump! Let's go! I feel like I've been making really good progress. And I don't... Because I don't remember where everything is. I have a general sense of the layout of the castle, but... Probably better to teleport back down and work our way back that way. Probably get that thing that's... Yep. The soundtrack just continues to slap always. Like I said earlier, there's the function to insert other CDs to listen to whatever you want, but I don't know why you'd want to. Teeny tiny little sword. Just a cannon on the other side. You love to see it. What's through this way? Oh, okay. Does the sword swing faster like in Kingdom Hearts 2? There are different sized weapons, so like some of them, like Tearfing 2. No, never mind. Some of them are two-handed. There we go. Red Rust is two-handed. And it does have a different attack speed, as you might have seen. Want to come back here to this boss arena. Get back going this way. Alright, I didn't actually connect all this back up. That's what the sword was, or what the cannon is, I think. We just came down here and we said, oh, okay, it's time to go. So that'd be a handy shortcut for later. I hate when I switch my sub-weapon and I don't even realize that I lost the Bible. It's always a bad feeling. Because there aren't a ton of Bibles around in Dracula's castle, weird as that may sound. Yeah, we haven't gone down this way, so let's do that. Anyone got a living doll fear? She's asking for a friend. Spirit orb. What does the spirit orb even do? Oh, shows the enemy damage, okay. Ow. Bad ghosts. Leave me alone. Look, everyone, it's Cthulhu. You know, just as he was described in H.P. Lovecraft's short stories. I don't know what all the fuss was about. What's extra funny to me is there's a enemy later on who looks more like Cthulhu. Had a very different name. Where to go from here? I guess back towards the library and up that way. Get wrecked, Cthulhu. Well, that was a quick meeting. Mostly a notification thing more than anything else. Ah, got it. Okay, so we've got to go through this space again. So I guess where I want to try to go is all the way. Let's go back to the clock room. There's a thing in the clock room we could do. This might happen a fair amount with Castlevania, by the way. Just me going, look at map. Where? Classic Metroidvania things. Yeah, and this one has, like, nothing to indicate it on the map. Oh, also, you may have noticed we got a different cloak. Our cloak is now red. We have a jumpy cloak now. Yeah, that's not what's letting us jump. That's another different thing. But we do have double jump, which is nice. And we can finally see the damage we do to enemies, the damage they do to us, and their names. Later on, dog is a great way to travel because you do damage to whatever you walk through. Oh, we didn't even have to wait. So one of these statues moves based on time. Like every other minute opens and closes. All rocks is closer. Because, you know, it's the PlayStation 1 and it had a built-in clock, and they were like, oh, what if we showed off with this? Cheese. Yeah, I'll equip the broadsword. 9 more power? That's huge. Huge. Am I taking on a New York accent now? Is that what you're telling me? Am I embracing New York? Huge. Coliseum. More like never see him. Become Italian. Yeah, what you want? Your mom's making the sauce again. Come on. Yeah, forget about it. Ow. I did not get out of the hammer's range. Oh, shoot. Throwing your knife after you're dead, that's cheating. Oh, hey, another teleportation spot. I don't want to use that yet. Actually, let's teleport to the one that's near a save point, heal up, and then teleport back. You know, you really gotta admire Dracula's patronage to the arts. I mean, I guess he became Dracula in the Middle Ages, and, you know, that's when the castle would have been built. But a lot of this castle has since been renovated with Baroque and Rococo-style art. Which implies that Dracula's, like, going to town and hiring artisans. Ow! Ow! Panic! Oh, everything got worse. Never mind, everything got better. I found the sweet spot to hide from both of them. Okay, now let's go to the Colosseum. Ow. Excuse me, that's the door I'm trying to go to. Thank you. These spirits, they're so rude. Forgot how much of a groove this track is. Back off, son. I eat the cheese. Rip free. You know, she's sacrificed herself for the greater good here. Hey, Mars. Good to see you. I'm doing well. Just vibing with some classic Castlevania. How about yourself? Nope. I do not have enough health to do a boss fight. Is there one down here? There is. Whew. Doing well. It's raining again, so I might need a canoe to get home at this point. Oof. Yeah, you guys have been getting a lot of rain.
Who are you? Servants, come forth from the gates of hell!
I don't think a Belmont would say that.
The scent of your blood.
You're a Belmont! Attack! Rid my castle of this pest!
Again, these become perfectly normal enemies later on. Take you back to your childhood. Nice. You had a good childhood then. Well, at least in terms of what games you had access to. Could it be an imposter? I mean, I'll spoil it. It is in fact
So
him.
he says he's
He's
the
just
lord of this
under the
castle.
control of Dracula. Because evil wizardry. Time to tell Maria. Form of mist. Okay, which button is mist? Hello? Like, it's the shoulder buttons that are supposed... Because, like, it's L1 to turn into a dog. It's supposed to be one of the other shoulder buttons to turn into a mist cloud, but... Have I experienced glitch? There we go. It's L1 and R1 at the same time. So unintuitive. But you can only hold that form for like a second right now. Ow. That is half a horse. Yes. Yes, it is. And that half a horse was kicking my butt. Well, I'm glad you don't think it's disturbing, because I know that some people might find half a horse with its entrails sticking out a little disturbing. But you've got a good stomach. So does it run like an ostrich then? Yes? I'm gonna go with yes. Break time! Go get a stroopwafel. Ow! You shot me. You made me bleed my own blood. What's a stroopwafel? Stroopwafel? Oh, okay. Stroopwafel is amazing. It's a Belgian? No, Danish. It's a Danish style of cookie. It's about yay big, and it's two very thin like waffle cookies. Like they have a waffle pattern and they're cooked in a waffle iron, but they're very thin and crispy. And then it has like a layer of caramel in between the two. And so what you do is you put it over your coffee cup. You put it on the top as like a lid, and then the caramel warms up and becomes all gooey. It's really good. Highly recommend stroopwafel. But then again, I just have a racist sweet tooth, so... Owl Knight! Oh no, we made him angry. We killed his owl. He threw a bird at you. He did. And then he got upset when the bird was unalived. Hey, Breedy Bard! Thank you for the raid. Come on in, raiders. Welcome. Don't mind me, just taking care of a knight and his bird. See if that worked. Yep, there we go. If you haven't already, go give Brie a follow. She's good people. Brie went hunting chickens, so we're here now. Am I the chicken? I just stole this guy's green tea. Let's run! So, welcome. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Father Evan. I'm a Catholic priest. Stream here 3 days a week, soon to be 4. Just kind of do a variety of stuff. Ultimately looking at the intersection of faith and gaming. Two blood cells. Fell in love, but alas, it was all in vain. Oh, boo. That's a good one. Did you finish thieving the things, Bree? I don't want to go this way. I don't want to face the half horses again. Ow. Okay, we still got like 25 minutes. I was just like, wait a minute. This is one of those games where like I could just keep playing. The map pack is having 0.0001 piece of pizza for a snack. Mmm. To which I say, theory and reality do not always align. That'd be a very sad amount of pizza to have, honestly. Ow. Is this Werebane better? Oh, wow. That is a really good sword. I wonder if that was a lucky drop. I would not want to have 0.0001 pieces of pizza. I want the whole pizza. No, 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 no. 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 Go away. Paranthropus? I don't know what Paranthropus means, but it sounds cool. Blood Cloak. So luck goes down, but Constitution goes up. Okay, well that is the Colosseum completed, I do believe. So now I guess down and to the right. And keep going up through the clock tower? Or to the clock tower? Is there going to be blood on the clock tower? Why are there so many skeletons here? This is a single household domicile. It's not zoned for multiple households. Too many skeletons. Do skeletons really care about zoning? No, but they will. Alucard is secretly here from the Homes Council. He's carrying out an inspection on his father's house. You get fine, and you get fine. Everyone gets a fine, especially these things. Diplocephalus definitely gets a fine. What's with the money just lying all over the castle, Dad? Haven't you heard of a bank? You know, a patient vampire could just make a ton of money off of interest. Hey, Sinvertus, good to see ya. It's going well. Oop. I feel like they don't have the proper permits for half a horse either. No, no one has the proper permits for half a horse. Okay, now with double jump, I should be able to do this quite easily. Yeah, life max. Oh, and I never went to this store. I think this is where I want to head. Oh, that's another teleporter. Could have had teleporters a while ago. Ow. I don't know if it's better or worse that there are Medusa heads in this game that don't cause you to turn to stone. Yet they're still pretty obnoxious. Clock Tower. I nominate Alucard. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. I cast magic missile at who? I'm attacking the darkness. I'm more afraid of the water than I am of the Medusa heads. Nope, 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 no, no. Dang it, I think I just lost. Yep, I just lost my Bible. I need the Bible to spread the good news. And, true to Castlevania form, the clock tower is one of the most obnoxious parts. But the soundtrack here is one of the best. This track is so good. Stop it! Now they're ghost swords? This feels like cheating. Did I just get a cutlass? Oh, I already had a cutlass. Oh, okay. Gee, this statue is telling me to go another way. Could it be a secret? The healing mail sounds better than it is. You heal while you walk, but it's like 1 HP for a while. Oh no. No, I have a meeting to get to soon. I need to not have a boss fight. I was looking for a save room. Like, I have pretty cool coworkers, but even then they'll be like, cool, stun lock a boss in a corner. That's the answer. Oh, this connects over here. Okay, cool. All right. I think that's where we're going to call it for the day. That is a good cliffhanger because we are just outside of Dracula's throne room where Belmont is. What could happen? But yeah, so thank you so much to everyone for tuning in to Let Us Play. I've been your host, Father Evan. It's been good to have you here today. Thank you for everyone for liking, following, subscribing. Thank you, Bree, for the raid. And I hope everyone else has a great rest of their day. Go check out the YouTube and the Discord. And join us again on Thursday for Spirituality Thursday when we do more Spiritfarer. So that should be fun. And then check me out on Friday. I'm going to be over on P. Tony's channel competing on Game of Faves. I will not be doing the bonus stream on Saturday this week as I previously talked about. Something came up and I'm able to do it anymore. C'est la vie. But, I'll still be a part of the raid train on Tuesday because it just won't stop. So I think that is everything. So I hope everyone has a great rest of their day. And why don't we see who we can raid? Gonna send you on over to K-Max. He's doing some Octopath Traveler 2, it looks like. So hope everyone has a great rest of their day. Take care and God bless.